Hey guys, Coach Sean here, and welcome to another episode of the Coach Sean Fitness Podcast. Today's episode is a very special episode. One of the main reasons I started setting up the podcast as I did, and that is to get my dad on the episode of the podcast. For those that don't know, 2 years ago I ran would have been around 10, 12, I think it was around 10 episodes we did of an episode of a series called Fixing Pops. And what it was about getting my dad back into the gym and getting him training. And so every Tuesday afternoon we meet up and we go through a full body workout. And a lot of stuff you got to do through like that. Like there's videos of him doing like different. He did 10 pull-ups in one of the episodes, 10 pull-ups straight, which is unbelievable strength. You see him doing push-ups. You see through that my philosophies, training, and different things I talk about on this podcast and why I set up different exercises the way I do. And the main reason for it was I'd started doing more kind of freelance personal training, and the main thing was when people started seeing those episodes, like, oh, Sean, you're doing really well, you're doing great with that. And what really was, it was my dad helping me get my name out there more because I was struggling. I wasn't doing really well. And I'll never forget, I remember meeting an old friend, Tesco, goes, geez, Sean, you're doing really well with social media, you're doing really well with your fitness stuff, it's booming. And it really wasn't. I hadn't got that many clients, and most of my time was spent doing social media, trying to build up my name on Facebook and Instagram and all the rest, and trying to improve the few different classes I was doing, and just trying to get more clients and do marketing and all that. And one of the things we did was, with my dad, I rang him up and I was like, Dad, any chance, you'll get something out of it in terms of you'll be training. He didn't really care about that. He was just interested in helping me out. And we did the sessions every Tuesday, and it did start to generate more interest in me as a personal trainer. And later on in the summer, I had 6-week challenge and all the rest, and that started to build my name up a fair bit more. And I started making a little bit of money out of this whole personal training game. And a large part of that is due to what I did with my dad during that summer of 2018. So I won't talk about it too much more. It's definitely going to be a future podcast going to talk about that because I think there's a lesson to be learned there in terms of how fake social media and all that crack is, and how it's perceived as one thing where you don't really know what's going behind closed doors, especially now. So you see people posting up now on social media how they're doing great during this time and they're learning this and learning that. Just take it all with a pinch of salt, because sometimes they might be and sometimes they might not be. With that said, I'm getting completely off track. Today's episode is all about my dad, what he's doing in the gym now. You're going to hear in a second, he's doing unbelievable, all the different things he's doing in the gym. He's doing 5k runs now from a man who did not run before, and he's just making chicken salad out of chicken shit pretty much, because he's doing unbelievable with this quarantine, getting all his training in. Enough talking from me. I'm ranting at this stage. Straight into the podcast. Actually, before we start, straight into the intro of the Fixin' Pops that we always did. It was a take on Breaking Bad, so you're going to hear that music now, and then straight into the episode of Conversation with Dad. Enjoy. So we're right back here in the Coach Sean Fitness Podcast, and this is an episode I've wanted to do for quite some time, and it popped up this week on my news feed that this time 2 years ago there was a picture of me and my dad in the gym with the big Coach Sean banner in the background, and it popped into my head today, and I had a bit of free time. I said, you know what, I'm going to ring my dad, see if he's free to do a podcast. So I gave him a text. I said, you'll be free in 20 minutes. He texted me back and said, hope so. And I was like, it's a weird response to a text. 20 minutes later, anyway, I ring him. As I ring him, we just hear, Sean, how are we? Thank God you rang now. I was like, what's up? He's like, I'm going through the leg phase of my workout and I really don't want to do it. So I'm like, Dad, say no more. I'm going to have you in the podcast a half hour. He goes, no, don't hang up the phone. I want to talk right now. I was like, no. You're going to tell me in 30 minutes how you got on. So, Dad, what were you doing 30 minutes ago?
30 minutes ago, I was working in the gym, trying to keep myself in shape. And I had just come to the legs exercise, which I hate. I hate doing the squats. I hate doing the lunges. And just as you rang, I was starting to do the lunges. So I was very grateful for your phone call.
Well, I had to hang up because of that. I was going to jump all over the place with this, but last week, Mom was given out to me because you couldn't walk. And what were you doing with the squats? What was that? Just tell everyone, What was that workout program you were doing?
As I say, I hate doing squats. So I said I'd have a go at every band. I did 20, I think it was 20 sets or 20 reps with low weights. And then I gradually went up higher in the weights, but lower in the reps. And then when I
Yeah.
got to the top one, which was, I can't remember now what the weights were, but it was seven reps and 5 sets of 7 reps. And by the time I'd finished the fifth one, my legs were in bad shape. I I fell across the gym right into the treadmill. Your mother had to help me up. She had to help me into the house. I couldn't walk. My legs wouldn't straighten.
What gave you
So
that idea?
you know me, I do mad things. I do mad, and that was just two
Rough.
of the mad things I did. But it took me. It took me about 4 days or so for my legs to get better after that. I couldn't sit down. I couldn't stand up. Your mother had to help me up out of the chair and help me down into the chair. I couldn't move. I could walk all right, no problem, but couldn't sit up, couldn't sit and couldn't do anything.
Roughly, how many reps are we talking about in total here?
I think it was 105.
Jesus Christ. Wait, Dad.
Yeah. Well, she gave out. I started, as I say, I started off a lot of reps now with the low weights, but as the weights got heavier, I cut down on the reps. But I think I just did too much with the heavy weights. You
You
know.
think?
Oh, well, I know my legs. They told what I did.
um, Speaking of doing too much and mad things, a couple weeks ago you rang me and you're like, "I did it." I was like, "You did what?" You said, "I did a 5K in 42 minutes." And how much runs had you done before doing a 5K in 42 minutes?
Uh, two.
Two runs.
The first run I did for 5K, I did it in 72 minutes. And then the second time I just did a run. And then I said, okay, I think it was 2 weeks later, I said, okay, I'm going to really have a go at this. So I had a go at it, and I was amazed when I got down to 42 minutes. I could put a
Yeah,
half an hour, you know.
because I
So
had
that's
to
what
convince. I had to
yeah,
convince you to put that onto the Any Given Run Day running group because you were like, "That's not a great time." I'm like, "Dad, that's your second run." Like I'm training people like in colleges and stuff to build towards a couch to 5K plan over 6 to 8 weeks. Like I was talking to friends on Zoom the other day, and they're like, "I've built up to a 4K, which is pretty cool." But like
yeah,
you don't run, and you're after doing a 42-minute 5K.
yeah, I know. But I saw all the other times on your any given run day, and I said, no, it's not good enough to put up there. That's why you had to coax me to put it up. Yeah,
And then you said one of the reasons you were going to put it up was you had to get a 30-minute 5K. So
yeah. That came 2 weeks later. 2 weeks later, I was 30 minutes and 11 seconds. I was 11 seconds outside my goal, but I was happy with it.
well,
You
that's
know?
11 because on the treadmill, that's 11 seconds pushing it up to the speed you
Yeah,
needed that. So as far as I'm
yeah,
concerned, you pretty much did it.
yeah, yeah. 30 minutes and 11 seconds. I was very happy with that. Very happy now. That was the best. But
That
you know me for doing mad things. I'll next Monday now. I'll probably have another go to see if I can get it less than the 30 minutes.
brilliant,
I will.
brilliant.
Next Monday.
On the Any Given One Day podcast, we talk about like just different ways to make steps go fast. A couple of weeks ago, we were talking about they have a shoe called the Nike Vaporfly, where it's like carbon fiber plates and stuff, and it helps you go 3% faster. Your man, Kipchoge, used it when he was breaking a 2 hour marathon. What
Yeah.
footwear were you wearing last when you're doing that to the
You
5K? Yeah,
really want
no,
to?
I want you. I want you to say because you gave me off the view over.
All right. Done stores better value beats them all.
And why were you wearing Dunn stores? I'll let you have your moment here. Why were you wearing Dunn stores? Because what were you wearing
Oh, no.
before that?
I didn't see any reason not to wear it.
Were you wearing a pair?
Huh?
Were
I
you
wouldn't
wearing
wear
a
the
pair?
Jordans. No, I wear the Jordans. I wear the Jordans when I'm walking. When I'm doing the 5K walk, I use the Jordans. But when I'm running, I use the Dunn Stores ones.
Uh,
Now,
uh, what's that?
you don't have to buy expensive shoes to do it.
It's all just excuses. 2 years ago, we did the training we used to every Tuesday afternoon out in a gym in Lucan, and I'll be training my dad. We do a full body workout, and around 4 or 5 weeks into it, I remember I just messed up my back, so I was just hobbling around the place. And then you and Mum came. I limped out to see us, and I looked down on your feet, and if I could, like, I was almost falling off when I saw you were wearing a pair of Jordans, and then you turned around to me and said you wore the Jordans when running, and your feet were black and blue after it.
That was only to get back at you. No, they weren't. No, I enjoy wearing the Jordans when I'm walking, but it's just for the running now. I use the other ones. They're broken in. So it's easier. They're nice and soft on the feet as well.
Yeah,
the Jordans are for the walking.
And speaking of walking, the people listening are probably going, well, at least he does some walking as well. He gets to relax. But no, you're competitive as well when you're walking.
Yeah. Well, yourself and your mother, we do 5K walk, or we might do 2 5Ks in one day, or 2 4Ks in one day, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. Jeez. Especially with the good weather, it's nice to get out. Yeah. So we enjoy the walk.
Yeah, well, you 8K a day, and then sometimes doing a gym session on top of it.
Yeah.
Because you were cracking up. You're painting every room in the house. You painted the clothesline, which was just completely insane.
Anything that didn't move, I painted it.
I was getting a little bit worried then when you started painting the clothes on. I'm like, I have to break this 2K limit to go down to you, see how you are.
Yeah, that's where your mother had to get me out of the house in case I painted something else. Get me out of the house. Give me a bit of fresh air.
The gym keeping you sane. Dad, what is a gym week like for you? Like what you're telling me before we started this, you started your own program and stuff. So, like, what are you doing every day?
I started my own program yesterday. I was just the start of it. So starting with the neck, and going neck, chest, back, arms in the front, arms in the back, abs, and then legs. So it takes me about 45 minutes to go halfway through it, and then I break for a half an hour, have a protein shake, and then I go back and finish it. And then after that, then I have another protein shake. I'm just finishing off the protein shake now. So that's what I'm doing. And then I do that, and then when your mother is home, then we'll do the 4K or 5K walk as well.
Brilliant.
So that's what I'm doing, trying to keep in shape. I can't be the father of Coach Sean and be flabby.
Well, we were doing in the gym. One of your goals was to do pull-ups, and I think you got the 10, didn't you?
I did. I got the 10. Yes.
You got the 10.
I got the 10. Yeah. I just haven't got a machine for doing pull-ups in the gym. Otherwise, I would be having to go at it, But yeah, I was amazed with myself that I got the 10. I think I got the 10 on the second time I tried it. I think I got the 10.
Because we were just finished up one of the sessions. I remember you looking at the pull-up bar, and you're like, I have to give this a go. And I was like, that's the end of a session. And you got like 6 or 7. I was like, where the hell did that come from? And then a couple of weeks later, you went again, you got 10. Is there any particular goals right now?
Just to keep fit, keep myself going. I'm starting off. The weights aren't too heavy now with what I'm doing at the moment. So I'm going to keep these weights now till it gets that I have a few, a few things left in the tank when I finish them, and then I'm going to increase the weights for everything and start off again and see how we go from there.
Just keep building it up.
Keep building it up. Yeah, keep building the weights up. But form is the main thing. I don't want to get heavy weights and not being able to do the form. Form is the main thing. So I'll keep the form and keep the weights. And if I increase the weights and I can't get the form, I'll go back down to the weights again until I can get it right.
Spoke like a true professional. Very proud.
Moved off on me.
I wish half the people that are in the fucking big gyms that do be in sometimes would listen to you.
Yeah. Form is everything.
100% form is everything. But you know, sometimes even still, when you get to a certain amount of reps, you do be sore and stuff. But as long as you've got good form, you're a lot less likely to get injured.
Yeah. If you go too heavy on the weights, you won't do the form. So you're wasting your time.
And drinking the water what's your man's name? The DVDs you're looking at. Remember the big bodybuilder guy we watch?
Yeah, Dean Ash.
Yeah. So you get a lot of your stuff from him as well.
Yeah.
Drinking water and.
I'll drink plenty of water. I drink 4 or 5 bottles of water a day.
Jeez.
and more now with the gym. So
Yeah.
I go through 2.5 bottles in the first session, and probably about 2 bottles in the second session. And then when the protein shake, I use the bottled water as well, the protein shake. So that's another bottle in each of them. So you're looking at 5, 6 bottles, 6 or 7 bottles of water a day.
Jeez.
Yeah. Well,
That's
that's coming from a person who never drank water in his life. And you
yeah.
remember, you know what happened to me the last time when I didn't drink the water, how I ended up in hospital. So
Yeah.
I have to drink the water. So that's what
Yeah.
I'm doing now. You know, it cost me a fortune, but whatever.
Well, it's a lot better than the pain you were in before when you were in the hospital.
That's true. That's true.
I,
That's true.
I,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have wished that pain on my worst enemy.
No. Never. Not going to go through that again.
Yeah. Do you feel like the other way that they say more times at the gym, you have more energy and all the rest? Do you feel like that now after a couple of weeks with the quarantine in the gym, or?
It's not that I feel more energy. I feel that I'm able to do it easier than I was before. Like when you start off, you're struggling with certain weights. But now I find that when I get there's a few things I don't like doing, right? But
Yeah.
now I feel when I get to them, I'm able to do them, and there's no problem doing them. I can feel the strength coming on, and I can do the workouts better than I could before. Do you know what I mean? There
Yeah.
was a few workouts that I didn't like because I couldn't really do them properly. The weights were too heavy, and then if I let it down too much, the waist, and there was no weight there at all, and I might as
Gotcha.
well not do it. So now when I get to it, and there's a good decent weight on it, and I'm able to do like 3 reps of 12, 3 sets, 12 reps each, I'm able to do it no problem, and I feel a little bit left in the tank after it. Then I know I'm on the right track. You know.
Brilliant. One last question. How are the push-ups going? Because they were also a big staple of what we were doing before, and you were blasting them out as well. Are you doing much of them?
Push-ups are going out the door. I haven't done a push-up. I don't know how long since I've done a push-up, but I'll probably be back in it now for doing it again. Now that you've brought it up, I'll have to start looking at it now.
Well, your elbow was actually a little bit doing certain exercises. Any player, your elbow was actually at certain times doing the exercises.
Yeah. No, I think because I was making the same mistake that everybody was making. I was using too much weights. The weights were too heavy, and I was pushing it. You know, I wasn't getting the form right, but the arms were going up like this, and I was great. I could get it up, but I wasn't doing it properly. So now when I'm doing the weights that I can do properly and I can do the form properly, my elbows are all right.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
man.
I'm happy with the way it's going now. It's going slowly, but slowly and steady, and I'm not injuring myself, which is the main thing. You know.
Yeah. You're
So
probably gonna miss. You're probably gonna miss then this whole training 2-3 times a day when all these phases kick in and we're all back in work.
I know. Yeah. I know. What can I do? I no. Even if we go back to work, when we go back to work, I'll still set aside time for doing it. I mightn't be able to do as much, but I will set aside time for working out in the gym like 3 or 4 days a week.
Yeah,
You know,
just keep
half an hour,
maintenance.
3 or 4 days a week would be plenty. You know, just to keep me going.
Yeah.
You know, and then probably on my days off, then I might do the 3/4 of an hour to the hour, doing the full thing. But when I'm in work, I'll probably just do a quick half hour workout.
Perfect.
One of each things, you know. I keep myself in shape.
Deadly. And
I can't
what's
let you
that?
down. I can't let you down. Walking down with a big belly like that, I have to look good for coaching on.
Well, that's it. We might get a training gym session in. I think the 18th this month restrictions go up to 20K limit.
Is it? Oh,
I think it's 20K. I think it's the 18th this month. I could be wrong on that now. I'll have to double check, but hopefully all going well. Those phases get lifted, and we'll be back down in the gym pretty soon. And you can show me a thing or two about a thing or two.
That'll be something to look forward to. Yeah, I look forward to that. That'd be good.
Yeah, I look forward. I feel I'm under pressure now. All this training, all like doing 105 reps of weights. Like my gym program, I do on days I'm not doing big runs. I do a short run. I do my 50 pull-ups because there's a shed thing at the back with a big bar. So it's not the most comfortable thing in my hands, but it's just something to do pull-ups. I do 50 pull-ups, 100 push-ups, and 150 squats. But they're with no weight. So now you're coming on 105 with weight, and I feel like I'm doing nothing now. Now I break it down into sets of 10. So I do five pull-ups, 10 push-ups, 15 squats, and then I go back to my 5 pull-ups again. And it takes around 20 minutes or so.
Right, yeah. Well, when I'm doing the squats, I do all the squats together. And then for the lunges, then I do all the lunges together.
Yeah.
I don't break it up, That's the way I do it,
Yeah.
So I don't mind doing the squats with the weight, but I just hate doing the lunges. I hate doing the lunges.
Just awkward, just sore.
Oh, it's sore. It's sore as hell. But I keep going. It's not too bad now. My legs are not too bad now.
Yeah.
But doing the lunge now, it was bad.
Yeah. Well, you always feel better once they're done, anyway.
Oh yeah, yeah. Once they're done, you feel great. I got it done. Everything is hunky dory with me now. But just doing them is the thing.
Yeah.
But I'm happy now. I'm getting there. Slowly but surely, but I'm getting there. And I'm happy the way I am.
Deadly.
So.
Right. On that note, hopefully I'll see you in person in a couple of weeks' time, and we'll get a session in.
I look forward to a session with you. Look forward to a session.
I'm feeling the pressure. Anything else you want to say before we wrap up this episode of the podcast?
No. Just take care of yourself and keep the muscles going. I'll be looking forward to challenge you in the near future, do we say?
Fair enough. Feeling the pressure now, Dad. Thank you very much for joining this week's episode of the podcast. And yeah, that's pretty much for me. Stay on now. I'm just going to shoot the shit with you after this anyway. So wrapping up the podcast here, guys. Thanks, man, for listening to this week's episode of the podcast. Hopefully you got something from it, and some of you might feel like, hey, I need to step my training up a gear and get stuff done during this quarantine. Hopefully you got a bit of motivation out of this episode of the podcast. And that's it from myself and my dad for this week's episode of the podcast. Take care. Now that wasn't a hard video to get through now, was it? I hope you guys got some value out of the video. If you did, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the Coach John channel, which is somewhere here. And hit that button, subscribe to the Coach John channel, leave a thumbs up. There should be a couple of other videos around here for you guys to check out. And that's all from me, from Coach John. Take care.